All right, chat. We all know why you're here. We all know what you guys want. We're finally going to do it. It is predictions time. If you guys don't know, RLCS Winter Split Major coming up in 2-3 weeks. We've got people already coming out to boot camp in 2 days. We got people coming out on the 7th of March. Renegades from OC is already flying out. They got their headquarters in North Detroit. I might actually go visit. I might go say hi, what's up to CJ and the boys and shoot some content. We'll see. I got booked for a gig. We'll see if it works out. But yeah, people are starting to get boot camping, going to get some international scrims and some reps into play. And the boot camp buff in its truest sense is about to become true. And hopefully with that insight in mind, we can predict the nonsense that is in predictions altogether. Not only are we basically knowing it's impossible to predict EU's depth, inconsistent results within their own region, it's super difficult to do that when it comes to international play because we have such a small sample size. I mean, it's the second time we're seeing international play in 2 years. Like, it's been a long time. And now we've got a crowd, so it's like a true LAN. It's gonna be great. So I'm really looking forward to it. But today's video, we're gonna be talking about international major competition. We're gonna try to do the playoffs for both the group stage and the final playoff bracket. A couple things to keep in mind. Number one, I was supposed to do replay analysis on Detonator and Tokyo Verde in the grand final to give a little bit more insight on Detonator. We haven't done that, so we're actually going to do it after this video. So my opinion might change there. Also, the narrative of NA versus EU needs to stop. For some reason, people keep thinking one region's better than the other, but the reality of it is top 8, top 12, whatever it is, these teams are very close. They are the best in the world, and at any given point, one team can be feeling that day, have that pop-off moment, like the mechanics and everything else. People are good. Go look at the fall major, and you can look at some of those series, flip a coin. You're talking the difference is a goal or a mistake or one little thing here or there. So this whole like NA versus EU nonsense is ridiculous. It's very, very close. NA and EU equal. And point number 3, stop discrediting the minor regions. Teams like Renegades and Ground Zero, who didn't even make it this time, were 1 game away in Swiss to making into top 5. And it's actually better for them in this format because it's less matches and the upset potential is going to happen sooner. It's who plays better out of the gate. And teams like Renegades, most people have a hard time getting used to. And they also have 3 weeks of boot camping. Like, stop sleeping on these minor regions. Between Sandrock Gaming, Team Secret, you've got Renegades, you've got Detonator, who maybe could be better. I don't know. Maybe they won't go 0-9 like Tokyo Verde. They weren't even supposed to make the qualifier. They weren't even supposed to play in the qualifier. Because NIMS couldn't play at the Winter Major, dropped out, and then they upset everybody and made it through double elimination. Like, there is depth in these other regions. If you guys didn't watch my video that came out the other day, please go watch it. It provides a lot of insight on it. There's some good teams that are going to be here, and these groups are absolutely brutal. It should be fun. So with that rant out of the way, let's take a look at the actual brackets and the groups and all that kind of stuff. We're going to go from group to group. We're going to enhance this, and we're going to start with, how does this look? We're going to start full screen on this bad boy, and we're going to go with Group A. So Team Queso, FaZe, V1, and Detonator. We've got the #1 seed from Europe, the seeds from NA. I think this is the 4th seed and the 2nd seed. And then you've got the APAC champion coming in. These two were, I think, flipped intentionally for perfect bracket purposes and wanting to do mix-ups and stuff. I forget the exact reasons. I had to watch Gibbs' video, and it's already in one ear out the other. So it's just, there's a lot of info going on. Either way, FaZe's 3rd seed. Oh yeah, G2 did upset. That's right. G2 did move up. So it's first 3-4 and then the #1 from APAC. You are correct. So I am going to put this out here. I think Detonator is going to lose and go 0-3 in the group. Nothing against those regions, but they just aren't quite there yet. You are seeing some difference in results. You are starting to see some pretty exciting things out of them in regards to the fact that APAC is having some depth to it, and you are getting teams that are more competitive. It's not just Tokyo Verde winning everything like Sandrock does over in MENA. You are seeing teams, because they now finally have consistent competition and consistent tournaments, for the first time in the region's history, that teams are starting to do better. So, unfortunately for Detonator, I do think they are going to have the similar situation when it comes to the teams they're up against in international play. But again, this is only going to make the region better. You now have Tokyo Verde and Detonator with international experience. They bring that back to their regions. Hopefully that makes their regions better. And so far it has. So pretty cool stuff there. But against teams like Queso, FaZe, tough thing. Next team that I'm going to talk about, V1. Obviously, everybody talks about how biased I am towards V1. Again, trying to change the narrative here. V1 has the exact same results, but better, because they won an event as Space Station Gaming, and most people don't blink at Space Station Gaming being a top 4 team. But V1 has performed better. LAN buff and Windows disconnect buff built different. This is also the first time that Torment is going to be at a LAN since like DreamHack 2017 or something. And every LAN Torment has been to since that moment, he's won. He won the DreamHack event with the Muffin Men. He also took Season 6 MVP at the World Championship. Torment built different at LAN. And you've got a young player who is arguably a top 10 player in North American beast mode, and Calm, who is finally feeling confident. I am confident in Robert Calm Kaiser. The last time Calm also went to a LAN, that boy drank 5 Red Bulls and like single-handedly carried Bull Send to like actual performances. This is a LAN team. V1 is without a doubt a LAN team, and despite that preach, they're going to go 1-2 in groups. Despite that, despite everything I just boasted about them, they're going to go 1-2. Because I think one of V1's biggest flaws is against teams that are super fast and super mechanical. Team Queso and FaZe are both those things. V1 struggles against teams like that. There's a reason why I think V1 was super happy to get G2 in the upper bracket. I think it is a team they pair up very, very well against. But if it was FaZe in that upper bracket instead and G2 would have lost that series, I don't think V1 would have won the whole thing. There's a chance that V1 may not have been at this event. So I do think V1 pairs poorly playstyle-wise against FaZe and Queso. I will say I have some faith in Fireburner to try to figure things out over boot camp and everything else going on. Either way, I do have V1 losing in those. That is where I have things going so far. I just have to get in and dial in the specifics. I also think Team Queso as a team is very malleable and is a team that, despite going through hardships, can handle that adversity, as we refer to it as. I think Rise is probably one of the most effective players. If you want to think of Rise as a player, think of him as like Rizzo 2 or 3.0. He's the new generation Rizzo. He's disruptive. He does a lot of the intangibles with boost denying and setting up his team, but he still also has the mechanics to put things away. Rise is super underappreciated. He is incredible. The other side of things with that as well is Joyo and Vatira are both absolutely cracked. All very young, one of the youngest teams going to LAN, and a lot of people have that concern, but something that we have noticed over the years, yes, there has not been a live crowd, but these young kids, for some reason, don't grasp the concept of pressure. They don't understand that, like, hey, man, this is a big deal. There's a lot of weight to this. There's a lot of things going on. For some reason, they just don't get phased by it. They really don't. And I don't think Queso's going to get phased by FaZe Clan either. I think it's going to be a great series. It's probably one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most is Queso and FaZe. Just because typical at LAN and everything else, I'm excited. But I do think Queso will take that one. I think V1 is probably going to 3-0 Detonator. And so is everybody else, unfortunately. FaZe versus V1. I think V1 struggles in that. They'll probably make it somewhat close. It'll be 3-1 or 3-2. I don't think it'll be a closeout. I'm going to go 3-2 because I do think V1 might be able to upset that. I just don't know if it is. And then Queso will probably be 3-1. So that is what I have for my groups with Queso 1, FaZe 2, V1 3. I do think V1 could upset. This will be a big match because it does matter a lot for the lower bracket opponent. So I think they're trying for 09 to do better than Tokyo Verde. I just think against the group they have, it's tough. Groups are not easy. Swiss gave a little bit better chance, but with groups, it's absolutely brutal because you're not playing the weakest competition against the weakest competition. You are playing teams in your group that are probably better than you. If this was a circumstance where, like, in the 0-2 match against another 0-2 team, Detonator has a significantly better chance than they do against a FaZe or a Queso. So Detonator, that is their goal. Don't go 0-9. I would like to see them get a individual game win. Gonna be a tough one with their group. The only reason people are claiming this is the easiest group is because you have a pretty clear cut 3 that you think, okay, these are the ones that are going to go through. Also, if V1 goes neutral in game differential, if that's expected, I expect them to probably do better than that, if I'm being honest. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to be realistic about the situation, and playstyle wise, I do have some concerns with V1, but if they perform like they did in the regionals, maybe some upsets. We'll have to see. Up next, Energy, Endpoint, Renegades, Furia. I'm actually really excited for this group. Primarily because Furia is in it. I think that changes some things. You've got international competition across the board. You've got the 4 strongest regions all being represented: NA, EU, SAM, and OS. So that is good. I think this is one of my favorite groups because I think competition-wise, it gives us a little bit of everything. I do think Energy has shown in the past that group stages and in Swiss may not always be their strongest, but I'm not too concerned about Energy. They always find ways to make it through. But if a team is caught slipping, I could see some upsets. The deciding match for me in this one is Furia and Renegades. I think Renegades can potentially beat Endpoint. Endpoint tends to struggle against chaotic teams that are not afraid to heavily bump and demo, and that is pretty much the bread and butter of Kami on Renegades. CJ, as long as his accuracy is on, the team looks great, because I know Fever's going to show up. Fever's always been a solid player, and he showed that land doesn't seem to bug him. So I am a little concerned about this match, about who wins, and I think this is potential upset. But Energy, in my opinion, should win all of these. I think Energy is just simply the better team. While Endpoint may have Seiko, Energy has Justin, Squishy, and Garrett, is the way I look at it. I think talent-wise, they're just better. I do see Endpoint taking a game, though. Against Renegades, I expect can take a game. Furia, we'll do it that way. I think Energy will win this group pretty well. Endpoint Renegades, I think will go to 5 and probably go to Endpoint. I think Renegades can play upset in this. This is my like V1 phase match of the first group. I think Renegades and Endpoint could be very close. Energy lost to Endpoint last major, though. Hey, chat, I hate to break it to you, but last major was months ago, and that was months ago. And while, yes, it is the only thing you can compare it to, it does not matter. It straight up doesn't matter. It's a different land, different environment, like, it's a new major, chat. It's a new major. Using previous land results, as much as you want to rely on them, it just does. In Rocket League, we've learned it doesn't matter. So, Endpoint Furia, I could actually see Furia winning. Like, Furia's got the mechanics to keep up with. I'm going to do this, and then I also want to do this. I think playstyle-wise, Furia might be okay against Endpoint. I'm a little nervous about Furia's defense, though, because the mechanics and stuff have been there. They're a little bit too over-aggressive for me at times. But that first match against Energy should be pretty eye-opening. Playing against Energy as like your warm-up match is absolutely fantastic. The first match on stream for them, get it out of the way. Like, they're going to be able to like settle in. And then Furia Renegades. I also really like this, because that way, no matter what, one of them is making top 12, which has to happen obviously because of the format, but make it go to 5. It'll be spicy. I'm going to give it to the old man. I think it'll be close. That's a coin toss. The reason why I want to go with Renegades is they tend to have a not one size fits all. To me, Furious playstyle is we're fast. We're mechanical. That's our playstyle. Renegades seems to have a couple different gears to them. I think I'm going with Renegades. That one's going to be close. I do like the tiebreaker and how it plays out, though. We'll see how it goes. All right, Group C. G2, Evil Geniuses, BDS, Team Secret. G2, Team Secret, BDS, Evil Genius. All right, so we got G2, BDS, Team Secret, EG. If you guys don't know who Team Secret is, this is the former erased roster, which used to be known as Noble. They then had the Noble situation happen. If you guys haven't seen those videos, go watch those for insight. And then they are picked up by Team Secret, who is back. So that is the South American second seed. So again, like we have 2 NA in Group A, we have 2 EU in Group C, in EG and BDS. This is your number 3 seed. This is your number 5. That's right. Team Secret is the number 1 seed. Correct me. Sorry about that. Team Secret is your number 1. Fury is number 2. Erased was super consistent. They were like second, first in their results or something like that. This one's a little bit tougher for me. Evil Geniuses at the major, huh? Now, if you guys have ever watched my stream, you know my feelings towards EG. It's not that I think EG is bad. I just think they do not progress any further than where they're at. And I say that, and they got top 4 twice. Is that due to inconsistency? Is that due to some teams underperforming, like Misfits continuing to throw in their 3rd regional? Is that due to luminosity? I don't know. At the end of the day, the fact states that EG is getting wins, and they're finding ways to get wins, which is good. Will they continue to do that with international competition? I think, personally, G2 right now is playing better than G2 ever has. Their offense is back to the same form it was in Season 7, where they're averaging 10, 15 shots a game. There are some teams that still find ways to defeat that because the shots aren't always the most threatening. They're aplenty, but they're not the ones that are like, wow, this is a crazy infield pass and a top left. I don't know how many teams are okay with the same situation that BDS has put forth, where you are under a constant state of pressure. Good luck breathing. G2 does that very well. The thing that has always concerned me with G2 is their defense. Sometimes they overexert a little bit. Sometimes they're a bit too aggressive. And that is the pro and con of having a super aggressive offense. I will say the thing that impresses me most lately about G2 is their defense. And I think G2 is at a point where they are performing at the right place going into the major. With boot camp and everything else, I think with Atomic, it's tough because Atomic, I don't think his lackluster performance in fall was due to it being Atomic. I think it was due to the product of Envy. There was something obviously off with Envy, and Atomic didn't look great because of it. It was more of the environment rather than the individual. I think Atomic is now on a team he's wanted to be on for like 2 or 3 seasons. I think the defense is looking more refined than it's been, and I think their offense is still stellar. So G2 Team BDS is clearly the highlight match. I'm super excited to see if the G2 situation is the real deal, or if BDS is going to be a team that shows its polarity at times. I don't know. I still think Team BDS is still one of the most sought after teams to pay attention to when it comes to the RLCS. Their story is incredible. They're a fantastic watch no matter what. So they've proven that LAN woes are not a thing. So G2 BDS is my highlight. I'm going to just get it out of the way right away and put 2-2 here. I'll deal with that later. As it comes to that rant I just had, I think EG is going to have a very tough time against G2 and is going to struggle. There's a reason why EG is not beating the top dogs in Europe. They just can't hang. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful. It's the same issue Oxygen has. Oxygen has gotten 5th to 6th every single regional this split and has yet to beat one of the top 4. I don't think it's inherently because they're bad. I just think those other teams are better. This is G2's chance to show they are better, not just within their own region, but also in international play. BDS Secret. BDS, I think, will wipe the floor with Secret. I'm a little bit nervous for Secret, if I'm being honest. I think similar regards with G2, except for Secret will take a game, and that is going to be why I have this happening. BDS EG, it has never happened. I don't see it happening, especially on international competition. We're calling it a 3-0. Team Secret EG, I could see an upset. A team that has never played against South America before, it is very surprising. We've seen this numerous times at World Championships where teams go in expecting stuff out of South America, and they continue to beat those expectations. I could see an upset here. I really could. Team Secret's good. They're very good. I think with Secret having exposure to both G2 and BDS, nullified with Team Secret as well, who has the better mental? Sam 2 lost to Vitality, EG is much better. Well, this is the Sam number 1. Also, you're extrapolating information that is irrelevant to the current scenario. I'm trying to think of playstyle wise. If Secret works in demos, anybody from South America, how often does Secret demo? If Secret's a demo heavy team, I think people are a little bit worried about EG. Let us pull some stats real quick. Obviously within their own region, so it's going to be a little bit skewed, and we'll take that into account. The fact that I'm humming and hawing about it as much as I am just proves that it's tough. The thing with EG is they play a really clean game, and disrupting that is going to be absolutely crucial for Team Secret, in my opinion. 4.13 demos inflicted, 3 taken, while EG towards the bottom, actually. Holy. Nah, it's actually a lot closer than it looks. Maybe not. I'm going Secret, honestly. I'm gonna go Secret. I'm gonna go for the upset. I'm going to go with the upset. I will say, if Team Secret gets a little overzealous, a little bit too aggressive, all that kind of stuff, be careful. They could get punished heavily by counterattack. The thing I will say, people are saying that Team Secret is good at avoiding demos. Let's see if the stats agree with you. The stats do not agree with you. They're in the top 15, and that's including every region. So if you get rid of the other regions outside of minor regions, so if you're doing just NA and EU, they're the 9th highest in all of NA and EU for receiving demos. And they are the lowest out of all of those teams in issuing them by a lot. All right, Group D. We've got Dig, Sandrock, Pioneers, and Space Station. Probably my favorite group, if I'm being honest. NA versus EU doesn't matter, in my opinion. This is also another one of every region in your top 4. You've also got, in my opinion, I think MENA should be in that consideration. I think Sandrock Gaming in particular is showing there's other teams in their region that can compete a little bit. Obviously, they're still winning everything, but Sites did manage to actually like win a series. 4 different regions? No, I mean top 4. No. I meant top 4 CCP. I think NA, EU, OS, and MENA are your top 4 in the world right now. If I'm ordering regions, I truly believe that. I truly believe that. NAU, MENA, and OS are top 4. The only reason you put a little like asterisk next to that is because Sandrock, like, they've got the one team. We haven't seen the experience of like Ultimate Sites, etc. in international competition, Falcons. It's just Sandrock's really good. So, also, if you guys did not see, Ahmad did put out a tweet. He has been able to, and let me read it exactly with the translation. I wanted to say I postponed my majors, and God willing, I will go to the major. There is a very likely chance that Ahmad does go to the major. Full roster, Okhalid, Ahmad, and Turk. Full roster, fingers crossed. Although Senzo played incredible, fingers crossed. We got Dig, Sandrock, Pioneer, Space Station. This one's a toughie because Dignitas has shown the worse they do in groups, the better they do in bracket play. I don't know, man. This is a toughie for me. Gosh, where do I even begin? Sandrock versus Pioneers. I think Sandrock shows they're a really good team. Pioneers is probably get eliminated from this group. Nothing against Pioneers in particular. I just think they get eliminated. I do not see them winning. In Arabic, it means he's going 100%. Awesome. Awesome. Glad to see that Ahmad is going. That's fantastic. I do have Pioneers taking a game off of Space Station. Little concerned for Space Station. Little concerned for Space Station. I actually have them losing to Sandrock. I have Dig also beating them. And Dig probably beating Pioneers 3-0. Sandrock Dig, huh? For first place, too. Mechanically, Dig should be able to handle Sandrock. Do they repeat and go 3-0 again? I mean, the fact that I'm considering it shows how much respect I want to give Sandrock to. I think Dig takes it. Sandrock puts up a good fight, though. Ahmad doesn't hit the upside down shot this time. He doesn't hit the redirect like he did on G2 and sweep. 3-2. I think I have to. Sandrock's good. Sandrock's really good. Full SRG, though, we haven't seen. We haven't seen Okhalid at LAN. I'm excited for that. Joria's also is fighting on, like, I forget what the tweet was, but, like, Joria's had, like, 999 ping, and they're like, yo, training weights. So when he comes off with 0 ping, he's going to be insane. So that's what I got. Recap of groups. 1, 2, 3. Queso, FaZe, V1. V1, I think, struggles against these playstyles. This one, I think, is going to come down to this match with a tiebreaker. We've actually got a 3-way tiebreaker, but the 1-game differential. Spicy if it happens. Spicy if it happens. And we've got these two playing in a tiebreaker. Next, BDS G2 Team Secret EG. This one could go differently. 100%. I 100% think that EG and Team Secret could swap. I'm just going for content at this point. Because I want to see it. I just want to see it. I think it'd be crazy. I think EG without a doubt can beat and probably will beat Team Secret, but bracket content, screw it, you know? And then the last group, which you guys can't see, Dig, Sandrock, Space Station, Pioneers. Should be fun. All right, let's go to the playoffs. Playoff time. Your top of the bracket would be Queso, Dig, Energy, and BDS. Chat, all y'all need to chill. It's just predictions, chat. We all know that none of my stuff is going to be right because that's how predictions go nowadays. So you should be happy that I have cursed it for your team to win. All right? Calm down. So we got Queso, Dig, Energy, BDS. Love this. Love this a lot. This is awesome. Big fan. Rematch early. And it also means that one of these is got to go through the lower bracket. That's pretty awesome. Queso Dig. I mean, that's Dignitas's Semper version, right? Like, Dignitas in the fall beat up the heck out of Semper over and over and over again. And then Semper decided when it mattered most in top 8 to win and go to the semifinals. So possibly a chance for Dignitas to do what happened to them. We'll see. Again, this all is entirely up to Queso performing like we expect them to, even though they're LAN rookies and very young. So, got Endpoint V1, G2 Space Station, FaZe Renegade. Oh, sorry. Sandrock Team Secret. Interesting lower bracket matches. I also predicted things this way because I know a lot of people in my community have been predicting a certain way and have matchups that are already predetermined, which I didn't want. I wanted some parity to this. So we get 3 international matches and 1 NA versus NA in the lower bracket, which is also exciting because then you're seeing NA knocking each other out again, which I'm a fan of. So G2 or Space Station dropping already. Pretty crazy. I have this. I think G2 is playing better currently. Despite Daniel being super Omega clutch, I could see, like, this is like Daniel versus Atomic. I think the other 4 will play fine. I personally think that Arsenal has been playing not up to his potential. I think Arsenal is way better than what he's been showing lately, and that may come out at LAN. I don't know. We'll see. But I have G2 performing better right now. I do. V1 versus Endpoint. I think V1 right now is a more dynamic version of Endpoint. Even with Endpoint just taking second, I do have V1 as a more dynamic Endpoint. I talked about this before the split started, that V1 was comparable to Endpoint. But I think right now, V1 looks like a better version of it. I really do. Maybe land nerves get to them. This is a coin toss. This is a coin toss to me. It will be, that's a fun match. V1 doesn't have Seiko. No, they've got Beast Mode. Hello? Y'all remember what happened to KCP when Beast Mode came in? And then they turned into Shopify Rebellion? Y'all cute. Y'all cute. All right. I talked about V1 being a new version or a new iteration and similar, and made a comparison to Endpoint of what would happen if Beast Mode joined that team. And then the exact same thing happened. So we'll see. FaZe Renegades. Do we see the upset again? Do we see Renegades upset FaZe again? No, we don't. We don't. I'm sorry. We don't. The issue I had with Renegades, or not Renegades, with FaZe, is when FaZe got to bracket play, they regressed. They went back to what was comfortable. I think FaZe looked their best when they enabled their third person to play a very offensive position. When Illusion was able to move up and make some plays, go for double touches and stuff like that, I think it was awesome. The issue is I still have that concern, but I do have a lot of confidence in Sipical being that third one back. Sipical at LAN usually performs really well. The only issue is he hasn't been able to clutch out. They're like, all of these matches moving forward are going to be almost impossible to predict for me. They're going to be so difficult with not knowing how any of the teams have played up to this point, with how any of the teams have looked so far. It's going to be so difficult. These are all coin tosses moving forward after this one. I think Sandrock wins this one 3-1. If you guys want the spreadsheet, exclamation point spreadsheet, it'll also be in the description down below for anybody watching. So if this is your top 8, Queso, Dig, Energy, BDS, V1, G2, FaZe, Sandrock Gaming. 1, we're in for a treat. 2, this is going to upset a lot of people, but V1 has had G2's number the last 3 times they've played. V1 is so confident against G2 and how they play, and it's shown so many times. Chat, I need you guys to stop saying it's bias when it statistically is shown that they've won every time. You guys can't argue stats. Hold on. That's player stats. I want team stats. Where are they? Winner split. V1 versus G2. 3-0. They're 11-6 with a 64.71% win. They have not lost to G2 this split since Beast Mode has joined. And they have done it 11-6. LAN can provide some different elements, but you've got a team that is extremely confident against G2. I'm biased. My bad, chat. My bad. FaZe Sandrock Gaming. Ooh, that's a fun series. I just don't know what Sandrock's gonna look like with their full roster, because TRK without a doubt played out of his mind. It's also a best of 5, so upset city is possible. What version of phase are we gonna get to? This, I honestly don't know how to predict this, chat. Legitimately, I don't know how to predict this, which is a lot of credit being given to Sandrock. One, there's the unknowingness of how Sandrock is gonna look. I don't know how Khaled's gonna do under LAN. Historically, Sandrock in the big moments, like the really high profile tournaments, they have struggled. While they are a good team, historically in the big moments, they have struggled in the really high profile situations. FaZe, on the other hand, with Sipical now, I don't know. I honestly do not know. I think that's what excites me about this bracket. I do not know. Tapo, again, when I say historically, that means more than one result. But I do think TRK's performance kind of balances. Oh man, this is tough. And this is only gonna get crazy as we progress. All right, I gotta go with my gut, and I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. They're the real deal. That match, chat, if that happens, can you imagine this being our top 6? Could you imagine that being our top 6? All right, we've now got Queso Dig. Dig gets revenge. Queso beats V1. Similar to how Queso has been dominating Dignitas lately, when it comes to LAN, the motivation behind finally beating them when it matters most. I think Dignitas, it's a new day. They get to go into this match with a lot of motivation. Both coming in neutral ground. No one's got upper or lower advantages. Both of them qualified first in their group, so there's going to be some downtime. Dignitas. Just like how Semper did it to them, I think Dignitas is going to do the same thing to Queso. Queso has dominated them in winter. You said about Dig Queso, but not G2 and V1. Yep. I sure did. Energy BDS. Oh, shoot. What have I done? Oh, how do I predict this? So we've got 1 NA left, 3 EU left, and 1 MENA. Again, the stats say that BDS beats them. Plus, I want to see Energy drop to the lower bracket and do this. I think Energy's defense is pretty solidified and can handle taking Queso. I think Energy's defense can handle Queso. Actually, ooh, am I second guessing myself? Is Queso gonna be that team? Again, this is all on the precedent that Queso does live up to the hype. They're not phased by nerves. They're, you know, I gotta go with Energy in the lower bracket with consistency. I think I do. Oh, that's so tough though. I mean, again, chat, when I talk about these playoff brackets, these could easily go either way. There's a reason why I'm putting these going to 7. I don't know what the heck's gonna happen. Vatira hit a double flip reset against Diggle taking a bite of pizza. Dude, how are you supposed to stop a pizza buff, man? I mean, Jorius won't have his phone, so like clearly it's different. You think Vatira's gonna have pizza on stage? I don't think so. Greasy hands, he's gonna slip his controller, bonk his knee, and then he's gonna scream in pain. Dig BDS. Gosh. What's the history on that? It's been in favor of Dignitas lately, hasn't it? Let's see what Dig's record is against good old BDS. In winter, they're tied. No, they're 1-0. They've played once, and it was a 4-0. That's it. Fall, they were 1-2. So it's neutral right now. It's 2-2. That doesn't help. That doesn't help me. It's neutral. You can't give me a tie. I need your help stats. Help me. No. Yeah, it's so close. It's 2-2. It's 2-2 between these. Since fall, they're 2-2. I'll shoot. So this is where my train of thought comes to, right? Like, obviously, BDS is usually the easy one to pick because that's the team that did it better. And they did it at LAN and blah, blah, blah. Dignitas most recently has kind of been performing better in doing the thing. But we also saw BDS not win a single regional. They also saw them, you know, only take top 4 every single time, which people thought that they were falling off and Mark should leave, which, again, stupid. But, like, they top 4, top 3 consistently, and then they went and won the entire thing. Dig perfect sweat BDS this split. Yeah, that's online, man. This is LAN, 0 ping, vibing as a team. You know what? I want the rematch. Give me the rematch. We'll do it for the storylines. Give me the rematch. Run it back. You know the real motive here, chat? You know the real motive? Is to make you all hate double elimination as much as I do. Y'all gonna see again, even though BDS is probably the better team, y'all gonna see again that a team coming from the upper bracket dropping down to the lower bracket against a team with momentum. You're gonna see why I hate this format. How do I end this, man? Jeez. All right, we gotta unfull screen again. Energy Dignitas. I would. Oh man, this is. You know what's crazy about this is seeing Energy and Dignitas in the grand finals, and it's like, wow. After all these years, we're back to these two. You know, first time we've got fans again in 2 years, and it goes back. Beautiful script writing, Lawler. Thank you. Thank you. The team name and the player have a different story. Oh yeah, 100%. Totally different teams, totally different rosters. But it is for like the feeling of what LAN is, and for the story. There's a lot of really cool things that you can talk about like the evolution of Rocket League and how things have changed. But for some reason, these two like organizations continue to persist, which is really cool. Different except for Garrett. I mean, Garrett is constant. Garrett is your control variable in Rocket League. I want to lean towards Energy here. I really do. But if Dignitas is making a grand final going sicko mode, the first thing we have to do is do this, obviously, so we can at least go to the final. We got to get the excitement, right? To me, this is just to be like, I hate double elimination. Let's get it out of the way. This is the match that we actually care about. Let's do this. And do we get a repeat of season 5? God, the crowd would be going nuts. It has Dignitas going 4-2. But I'm going with my heart. I'm going with my heart. Home crowd, land buff. Home crowd, land buff. I'm going with it. That's a toughie, man. Chat, realistically, looking back at this, so I'm gonna pan this bad boy out so you guys can see most of it. Realistically, if this bracket does happen, which it will not, putting this all the way, if this bracket happens, which I can guarantee you it will not happen, it's not going to. I am 100% understanding that this will never happen because this is international competition we're talking about. I would be very excited to see this. I can tell you whatever teams we get in this bracket is going to be entertaining because it's going to be a live event. We are going to, and I'm going to switch over to the other screen for this. We are going to see teams at international competition that not only do we get to see international competition, right? Not only do we get to see the excitement of teams from all over the world competing, but we have a crowd there. You have thousands, particularly 5,000, coming together to celebrate something that we haven't been able to celebrate in 2 years. And if we know anything about live Rocket League, those moments are memorable. The ability to be there in person and have a crowd and like the casters to feed off of that. We did a Rocket Talk recently with Corelli talking about what it enables commentators and broadcast team to do, and the moments that are built up is very, very special. I do think, without a doubt, this land's going to be special. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the moment is going to be, but there's something that's consistent with Rocket League, and there's always like one moment that just makes it just has that special feeling that you can't really put your finger on. It's an infectious place to be. It really is. And for anybody who is going, I hope you guys have the best time, because even though you won't be able to interact with the players or anything else, the matches, the moments, the entertainment that these players put on showcase for us is going to be something special. So with that said, I am without a doubt gonna be the first one to say that these predictions aren't going to happen. I know they're wrong, but I will leave you with the best advice I can give you. As Wendy said in chat, don't forget to bring a ladder. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you guys watch my videos. Speaking of watching my videos, if you guys do enjoy them and you've made it this far, please give it a like, hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the new ones. A lot of cool stuff coming up here in the near future. Looking forward to it. But that is going to do it for my winter major predictions. I know they're wrong. I'm okay with it. But at the end of the day, when we get into those brackets, flip a coin. That's who wins. It's a 50-50 in my opinion. So should be fun. We're out of here, chat. We're out of here, YouTube. Appreciate you guys watching the video. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.